Desperate governments do desperate things. And there's covert confiscation, which especially people that are interested in mining and miners definitely know what that's about, that suppression. And then there's overt confiscation, where they say turn it in like Roosevelt did back in 33. And I would say without a doubt in my mind, I mean, they openly admit it. The central banks openly admit to manipulating the spot price. The spot price was created as a tool of manipulation to keep you and me, the public, away from gold, which is why it's not really surprising that it isn't just that the central banks have started accumulating a lot of gold. They went net positive in 2010, but they started shifting their stance and their policy on gold in 2005, before the great financial crisis, right? So they understand what's happening. Now, personally, I am not a bullion buyer, because in the US and in many other places in the world, they have a long history of gold confiscation. Maybe not in my lifetime, because I was born in 54, but certainly in my parents' lifetime. And when you look around the globe to say India in 2016, when they demonetized about 85% of their currency, they actually did go house to house, allowing Indian families to hold a certain level of gold, but taking also a certain level of gold. So personally, I believe that we will indeed see an overt confiscation again.
Real quick break here, guys. If you are a mining investor, you are without question familiar with the Golden Triangle region in British Columbia. This is one of the most prolific mining regions in the world due to its vast deposits of gold, silver, and copper. Now, for the last 4 years, Dolly Varden Silver has been busy expanding their high-grade silver deposit in the Triangle, and they are backed by some of the smartest investors in the silver business, including the legendary Eric Sprott, Hecla Mining, US Global Investors, Fidelity, Delbrook Capital, Sprott Resource Corp, and more. If you are curious why the smartest money in the silver business is cozying up to Dolly Varden Silver, then hit the link beneath this video.
For me, what I use as a guide is what I can hold and cannot hold inside of an IRA. Because for Americans, that's where most people that hold gold and silver, that's where they hold it. So for them to do a big sweep of IRAs, it's easy peasy, because eminent domain laws say that they can really take anything that they want. They just have to pay you market value. And if they're manipulating the price, then they're the ones that are determining the current market value of the gold. And they're going to want easy cooperation. They don't want you to know that they're doing it. The covert ways that they've been doing it is through taxation, through manipulation of the spot market. Look at the purchasing power. Pick the day you were born and see what it's done since then. Inflation and eliminating your ability to protect yourself from inflation with real money is also a form of confiscation. As miners, you know that they'll put all sorts of levies and special taxes and rights and this and that. So there's all different ways to confiscate. But if they do the overt confiscation, which is, in my opinion, probable. I mean, I was there, and in my uncle's back bedroom, when he opened 2 tall floor safes and had at least 3,000 ounces of gold in there, when it was illegal to hold more than 5 ounces. Oh, he did? Well, what kind of gold could he have legally that he could use in the normal marketplace? Pre-33 raw gold coins. That's what he had in there. And he couldn't fit one more in, because he was an antique dealer, so he'd go to high net worth homes and buy stuff. And then they'd be, we have these old coins. And he was probably buying them at $35 an ounce, or maybe he paid a little bit of a premium. So personally, when you're talking to me about eagles or Canadian maple leafs or pandas or any other new gold, that is all classified as bullion. So I don't buy that. And I feel differently about silver, but let's just stay with gold. Rather, I like the foreign gold coins. This happens to be a French rooster. And this, which is a pre-33 double eagle, American double eagle, but it's slabbed. See this nice hard plastic tamper-proof case. That puts it into a different category. All of them have, well, not all gold coins have the same gold content, but the current eagles, as well as the pre-33 eagles, they're all 22 carats. So they have the same gold content. And I mean, this is just a raw gold coin, right? I can't hold this in my IRA. Why not? Right? It's in a collectible category. That's what I want to own. Because the people that own things like that are slabbed, I'm not talking about the raw now, I'm talking about the more rare collectibles. When you look at some of these coins, they're paying like $15 million or $8 million for 1 ounce of gold. They're not going to turn it in at face value or even at a premium to spot. They're not going to turn it in. But beyond that, anybody that can afford to spend $8 million on 1 ounce of gold is very likely to be the person that writes the laws, or, as we see over and over and over again, influence those that write the laws. So that's the category that I want to be in, because I always ask myself, what if I'm right and what if I'm wrong? Well, if I can do something that really doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong, then that's what I'm going to do. Or even if you are a very big believer in bullion, then you use this to diversify your portfolio in case you're wrong. So there are different strategies, and especially with miners, there are different strategies that you can employ that make it not matter whether you're right or wrong. And that's in this environment, frankly, that's the position I like to be in.